Hello everyone, I am here to continue with the same topic, that is Parliament of India. Yesterday I have covered the most important one motions. Okay, so yesterday I have covered which one? Number one, I have covered substantive motion. After that I have covered substitute motion. Okay, apart from both those motions, I have also covered subsidiary motions. There are three subcategories of subsidiary motions. Number one, ancillary motion. Number two, which one? Superseding motion. And the last one, that is the three subcategories of subsidiary motion. The last one is amendments. After that, I have also told you about some facts related to closure motion. Number four, motions. Okay, there are also three categories of closure motion. Number one, simple closure motion. After that, compartment closure motion. Okay, closure by compartment motion. After that, the third subcategory of closure motion is kangaroo closure motion. Number fourth, that I have covered during the categories of closure motion, that was in yesterday class, that was which one? Guillotine closure motion. Apart from these four motions, I have also covered privilege motion. Privilege motion, that is the fifth one. After that, I have told you about some facts and basics related to calling attention motion. Okay, calling attention motion. And after that, I have also told you about adjournment motion. And the most important one till now, that motion was finally I have covered about no confidence motion. Okay, so these are the most important motions that I have covered during yesterday's lecture. Okay, so I am going to cover some of the important motions that I have left yesterday classes. So I have covered right now. Okay, so let's start today's session. Okay, so see, today our session is Parliament of India. Okay, we are continuing the same lectures. Okay, this is lecture number 10 of Parliament. Parliament is the most important chapter of our polity session. That is why I am taking it so seriously that not even a single point in perspective of examinations like UPSC is going to be missed. Okay, so if you feel that these sessions are too long about Parliament, then please be attentive. Okay, and be focused, because I am making these all the facts, important points only for you. Okay, not for me. Fine, so let's start and moving to the next one. Okay, moving to the next one. Let's see. Motion of thanks. Motion of thanks will be in use every year. Why? Because it is in use every year. Okay, it will be used every year, both houses, in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha too. So let's see some facts and the most important one aspects that is totally related with motion of thanks. Okay, it is the only motion that is totally related with President of India. No other motions till now except substantive motion is correlated with President of India. Okay, substantive motion consists two major aspects, mainly other aspects also, but the two major aspects during substantive motion I have told you about: the impeachment of President of India, that is the removal processing of President of India. Apart from that, I have also covered that in substantive motion I have told you that Chief Election Commissioner removing process will begin from the which one? Substantive motion. If there is any kind of motion brings about the removing process of Chief Election Commissioner, I am not talking about Election Commissioner. Okay, so if a question may ask and you are getting confused in it, that substantive motions also consists of removing of Election Commissioners of India. So please don't mark correct on it, that point, because it is not for election commissioners, it is for Chief Election Commissioners. Okay, students really do little with mistakes, that why they got 10, 12, 15 marks less and they miss 1, 2, 3, 4 years regularly in a way of process of misutilizing the things. Okay, so let's start with motion of thanks. Okay, so let's see what I am going to tell you now. Okay, so see, stay on it. Okay, see, motion of thanks is a motion which is used in each and every financial year. So let's see what is motion of thanks. Let's see clearly. Okay, see here. See students, you know what is fiscal year? Fiscal year from which one? From April to March, January. Okay, we consist, but this is not important for you that from which month to which month, but you have to mention that motion of thanks used on the first session of Parliament. In the first session of Parliament of each and every financial year, it will be used. So see how it works, motion of thanks. It is really also an important one, okay, because in 2019, you hope so, because it was so in news or something around that time of frame, 2019, it was so making highlighted issue that was in news. Okay, so a question may ask about motion of thanks too. Okay, so let's see. In 2019 general election, NDA got majority figure, that is 272 plus, that is minimum 273. This alliance got National Democratic Alliance, okay, National Democratic Alliance got 272 plus seats. The main party was BJP, all of you know, okay. So see, during 2019 general election means election of Lok Sabha, okay, election of Lok Sabha, election for member of parliament for Lok Sabha, okay. A question may even ask that general election consists of two types of elections, that is MPs of Lok Sabha and MPs of Rajya Sabha. Even a question will be asked that general election is held for choosing all the MPs of India, then is it correct or incorrect? It is incorrect, because it is not for all the MPs. General election does not consist for the election of MP of Rajya Sabha. General election of after each and every 5 years, generally if not any circumstances arise, then general election will consist of selection of only MPs of Lok Sabha, okay, fine, and among from those MPs anyone became Prime Minister of our nation. So 2019 general election, given the result, fine. After that, what happened that during the monsoon session, because see, the result was came in somehow, I hope it is in June time, okay, it is result came in June, I think so. It is not important one, but since if I have told you all about it, you will never forgotten about motion of thanks in your whole life, I hope so. Okay, so let's see. Whichever I have remembered in my memory, I think in June 2019 result comes, okay, fine. And all of you know that in 2019 either it was February or March when the budget session has been held, okay. After budget session of that year, fresh elections has been held in 2019, and in June results came, and in July monsoon session starts. I hope till now all of you are getting it. Either it is monsoon session, it may be any sessions, even it is possible that it may be also budget session. If election held in November, December and results came in January or February, then the next session, that will the first session of that new fresh election of Lok Sabha, the first session may be even for budget session too, but here it is falling during the time frame of monsoon session, okay. Even it is possible for winter session too. So whatever the timings of the general elections, according to that, any of the three sessions, either budget session, monsoon session or winter sessions, any of the three sessions may be termed as the first session of the fresh new Lok Sabha elections, fine, of parliament. So see what's happened here. I hope till now all of you get it, okay. Now let's see, remain on it, I am covering more on these aspects. What happened that in monsoon session of 2019, what happened actually, government formed, all MPs have taken oath, okay. Prime Minister taken oath, fine. How they took oath, in which person, in front of whom they all will take oath, I have covered all the aspects, okay. You can see my previous lectures, I have covered the whole things in detail view, okay. So all have been taking oaths. After that, what happened that whenever the phrase first day of the proceeding of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both motion of thanks consists of both the houses, that is Lok Sabha and well as Rajya Sabha. So we can say that motion of thanks is used in both the houses, that is in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So let's see. The first day of the proceedings day, the business running days of Lok Sabha and well as Rajya Sabha, what happened that President of India came. President of India came in Lok Sabha and as well as in Rajya Sabha too. Okay. And President of India, what they do that? President of India will read the motion of thanks, will give the speech of motion of thanks. It is not that kind of motion that I have covered yesterday lectures. That is, any member of the parliament can table up the motion in parliament. No, it is being readden by whom? President. President came in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha after the first session. Okay, just in the first session after the fresh new Lok Sabha election. Even after, when 2014 general election will be over, okay, 2014 general election will be over, the first session of that new fresh Lok Sabha election, the first session will be addressed by the President of India, and President of India will give in the speech of motion of thanks. Okay, in both the houses, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So I hope till now all of you are getting it, that the first session after each and every new Lok Sabha house, after 5 years, it is being used. Okay. So what happened that, see, what happened, I will tell you that now, but before that, pick up on another point. This is the first session of new Lok Sabha election. Apart from that, the first session of each and every financial year, okay, I hope all of you are getting it. In each and every fiscal year or financial year, the first session was also addressed by President of India in both the houses, in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha too, and in also that it is being used, that is motion of thanks. So motion of thanks is used in two circumstances, that is compulsory, it must be used at any hour. Okay, the first one is after the fresh new Lok Sabha election held and the government formed, then in the first session of that, after the fresh new Lok Sabha election, in the first session, the motion of thanks is being read by whom? Is being read by and given a speech by whom? Is the President of India. After that, not only in that first session, except from that first session after new fresh Lok Sabha election held, apart from that, even in the every first session of every financial year is being addressed by President of India, and President of India will read the motion of thanks. Okay. So there are two circumstances where President is giving motion of thanks. In one, the first session of each and every financial year, okay, the first session of parliament of each and every financial year, not in the all three sessions, but only in the first session, whichever the first session will fall in that time frame, that session was being written by whom? That being written by President of India in motion of thanks. Apart from that, it is also used in the first session of after fresh new Lok Sabha election. Okay, so I am repeating it again. Whenever the Lok Sabha election will be held, after the results came, government formed, President will address both the houses, that is Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and give the speech and read the motion of thanks. After that, not only in that time frame, President will give motion of thanks. Apart from that, President will also give motion of thanks in the first session of each and every financial year, in the first session of the parliament of each and every financial years. Okay, I hope till now all of you are getting it of both the conditions. So what happens in motion of thanks? Okay, you got it right now. Okay, I am erasing it because you will get confused if I write the whole things in a single way. Okay, so let's see what happened in it. Actually, what happened that motion of thanks, see, in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, somehow there is difference about motion of thanks in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, little bit, but understand it. Whenever President will give motion of thanks, either in the even the two conditions, either after the first session of new Lok Sabha election held, the first session will be addressed by President in motion of thanks. So even in that session, or what I have told you, that the first session of each and every financial year, the first session of parliament of each and every financial year. Okay, so in 1 year president will address one time related with motion of thanks. Okay, it is not written anywhere, but you can easily get it that the first session of parliament in one financial year will be only one. Okay, and after fresh new Lok Sabha election it is also the first time, so generally it is one time in 1 year. Fine. So president give motion of thanks in Lok Sabha. I am just talking about Lok Sabha. After that motion of thanks, what happened that little bit discussions and debates happen, and after that voting also conducted. Voting in also conducted in Lok Sabha 2. Okay, Lok Sabha 2 for about this motion of thanks. Okay, so it must be passed from the Lok Sabha. Motion of thanks must be passed by Lok Sabha. So what actually happened? Let's see here. NDA had got the majority, that is 272 plus, and in motion of thanks what is written? Actually councils of ministers prepared that motion of thanks. President read that motion of thanks in the both the houses, but it is not being written by the President of India. President is the official one who will read the motion of thanks in both the houses, but it is the government of India who have provided this motion of thanks to President of India that please read it. Okay, so it is the councils of ministers, union councils of ministers, which will give their views, opinions. And what is motion in thanks? What is in deep inside the motion of thanks? That previously what the government had done in the previous year, what are their achievements, okay, what are their implements in different kinds of fields, those things are written in motion of thanks. And what the government wants to do in the next year, that what the government has done in the previous financial year, as well as what the government is going to do in the upcoming financial year, both those things is written in motion of thanks. Okay, and president read that. So since generally it is the motion prepared by the ruling government that has already majority in Lok Sabha, because anyone will fall the government in Lok Sabha only when he got the majority. So automatically their councils of ministers, okay, that also consists prime ministers, have prepared the motion of thanks and give it to the president. So automatically they himself prepared by combining all of them, they prepared the motion of thanks and give to the President of India. Okay, so president read it, so automatically what they have written, what their ministers, what their prime ministers written, they is being written by president, so automatically they will support the president's speech about motion of thanks. Okay, because president is reading their work, okay, their work, what they have done in previous financial year, as well as what they are going to do in upcoming financial year or in this financial year. Okay, so it consists of previous as well as the current one, that is just the upcoming one, that is the current one. Okay, so automatically if it is going to voting about motion of thanks, automatically this will vote in favor of which one? Motion of thanks. So automatically it is passed from Lok Sabha all the time it is being passed by Lok Sabha. Okay, because they automatically favor that, because they are supporting it. Okay, they himself prepare the motion of thanks. Okay, their ministers himself prepare the motion of thanks. So generally it is passed, and it must be passed. If at any cost, if it is not passed by Lok Sabha, then the government will fall. Okay, government will fall, and then fresh new Lok Sabha election will be held if not passed. But it can't be happen because all of them automatically support the motion. Okay, but what in Rajya Sabha? Here it is possible that India government which is currently majority in Lok Sabha, it is possible that it has not the majority figures in Rajya Sabha. It is possible. How it is possible? You will get easily in during Rajya Sabha lectures. Okay, so it is possible that their majority figures not in Rajya Sabha. It may possible that they have majority in Rajya Sabha too, but it may even possible that they have majority in Lok Sabha, proper majority, but it may possible that they do not have majority. Okay, if majority, then well, fine. Okay, so let's see. In Rajya Sabha, it is not necessary to pass from Rajya Sabha of motion of thanks. Even in Rajya Sabha, if motion of thanks not getting passed, okay, then government will not fall. Government will continue their 5-year terms. Okay, generally. But what happened that if not passed, then it's a humiliating. Are you getting it? It's a humiliating thing for the government of India. Humiliating thing. If motion of thanks given by President of India, that motion has been prepared by councils of ministers of the ruling government, if that is not getting passed from Rajya Sabha, that's a humiliated one. Okay, the government is getting humiliated by not passing it. So this is also important one. Okay, so here it is not necessary to pass this motion, but here it is compulsory. It should be passed, otherwise the government will fall. Okay, here it is, if it is passed, it is well good for the ruling government. If it is not passed, then it is for a humiliating kind of position for government of India. Okay, so I hope all of you are getting it. It is about motion of thanks. So I am moving to the next one that will cover, I hope, other motions if it has given or mentioned. So this is totally new motion of thanks that I have covered right now. That is totally new motion. Apart from that, all the motions that I have covered yesterday, those are almost somehow a similar track, going on a similar track. But this one, that is motion of thanks, okay, traveling on another track. So let's see. Now that is censor motion. It is really an important one, censor motion. It is somehow related with no confidence motion. I am not giving any detail about no confidence motion because yesterday I have covered in very detailed view. Okay, so I am not going to waste the time and cover that aspect. So see, censor motion. The first point, what is written? It must contain exact reason, unlike no confidence motion. It means what? In no confidence motion, minimum 50 MP supports should be support only when a speaker can. It is not necessary that a speaker will accept that no confidence motion. A speaker can accept the no confidence motion only when there is 50 MPs supporting that no confidence motion. And there is no necessary that giving any reason that why I am giving this no confidence motion. That is not needed. Okay, no confidence means automatically that government has loses the majority. So there is no exact reason mentioned in no confidence motion that only for that reason this no confidence motion can be used. No, on that motion no exact reason should be written, or if not, it doesn't need to be written on that motion. Okay, if you are not getting it, see me. If any of the MP wants to bring no confidence motion against the government of India, then that MP should have the supporters of other 49 MP. So it will be minimum supports of 50 MP by including that MP himself or herself. Okay, after that, in that motion he will mention that we will vote to no confidence motion against the government of India. Please allow us the presiding officer, the speaker of Lok Sabha, because it can be introduced only in Lok Sabha, that is no confidence motion. Fine. So, but unlike no confidence motion, I am not talking about unlike no confidence motion, censor motion, it must be given exact reason that why any MP is being tabled this motion, that is censor motion. Okay, there should be exact reason mentioned in that motion, that because of this reason I want to put up the table and what to put up, and as well as I can table this censor motion. Okay, here it is not necessary even a 50 MP or even 2 MP not necessary, even 1 MP can tabled up censor motion. Fine. Other point, it is mainly for criticizing the government. In no confidence motion tabled for the which one? For the falling of the government. But no confidence motion itself is a bigger one than censor motion. Unlike that, no confidence motion, if censor motion is passed, if any MP brought censor motion against any minister or council of minister, since no confidence motion cannot be vowed against any individual members, individual MP or individual minister or council of minister or himself prime minister too. If you are voting tabling no confidence motion, then it is automatically understood that it is for against the whole government, the whole councils of ministers. If no confidence motion passed, then the government has to resign, the Indian government will fall. Okay, new Lok Sabha election will be held. But unlike from no confidence motion, in censure motion it can be used against even a single individual member of parliament, even a single member, even a group of members, even a councils of minister too. So again it is totally related with no confidence motion, but no confidence is mainly for which one? Mainly or what? It is only all for which one? Falling of the government, continue ruling government, and censure motion is for criticizing the government. Okay. What written here? It can be tabled even against one individual minister too, or group of ministers, or against the whole councils of ministers too. Okay, so censure motion can be tabled against any individual one too, against any group of ministers like 2, 3, 4, 5, any group of ministers too, or even in the whole against the whole councils of ministers too. Okay, but the no confidence motion is against the whole government, against the whole ruling government. Fine. So I am not moving to the next one because I have to tell some details about this one. Okay. See what happened in censure motion. So automatically you will get the differences between no confidence motion and censure motion. So let's see here. Okay. Suppose if any minister, any of the ministry, like I am just taking finance ministry. Okay. If finance minister has put down certain rules and regulations, rules or laws, any laws, or against those laws any member of parliament, okay, raise their voice, or a group of MPs raise their voice against that ministers and about censure motion against that minister, then it is possible that censure motion can be tabled against any individual minister too, any individual MP too. Okay, so it is possible. So in that case what happened that if censure motion passed, then what? Then either he have to resign it. No, it is not necessary that he will resign it. He will get humiliated by if censure motion is passed against him. He will get humiliated. Okay, but not needed to resign it. If wants to resign, he can resign or she can resign, but not needed at all. Okay, it is censure motion is itself for criticizing the government, not falling down the government or not falling down for any ministry or group of ministry or council of ministry. It even there are even finance minister, defense minister, okay, defense ministers, fine, foreign ministers, these kinds of group of ministers, even censure motion can be brought at one time, against group of ministers. The process will be same, the result will be same, passed, not passed. Okay, even passed, not necessary to resign. If they want, they resign, not want. Okay, they can humiliate. This motion can humiliate if this motion will pass. Okay, humiliate to them which one hai against it, passed it. Okay, even the whole councils of minister at central level, that is Union Council of Minister, it can be used. This motion can be used, but it can be used against the whole government, the whole ruling government. That is the difference between. I hope all of you are getting the differences between this one. Okay, fine. So I am erasing it. Okay, I hope all of you are getting about the differences between no confidence motion and censure motions. Okay, so I hope all of you have got the differences between no confidence motion as well as which one, as well as censure motion too. Okay, so I am moving to the next one. Fine. Now see, censure motion doesn't mean the fall of government. If censure motion passed, is the government fall? Will the government fall? Not at all. If no confidence motion passed, will the government will fall? Yes, automatically 100% it will fall. Okay, instead of that, censure motion doesn't mean that the fall of government. That censure motion doesn't mean that the fall of government, doesn't mean the fall of government. Instead of that, it gives an alert signal to the ruling government. Are you not getting it? that if any, like recently I am giving you an example, stay on it, okay, stay on it, I am giving the example by which you are getting easily each and everything. Recently form bills have been passed, in which form laws mentioned, form bills, they will become an act. What they will? Actually they have become an act already, okay. So form bills become an act, okay. What happened that agriculture ministry is responsible for it mainly, okay, mainly agriculture ministry, because he is totally related with farm laws, he is directly controlling it. So if any of the MP brought no confidence motion, no confidence motion cannot be brought against any individual one, okay. So here it can be brought censure motion, it's not chief minister, it is censure motion, okay. So if any of the MP of Lok Sabha, Lok Sabha is tabling censure motion, and if a speaker of the Lok Sabha accepts that motion, and after discussing and debates, okay, if when the motion is going to vote, what happens? If this motion is being passed, then it is really an humiliating one for agriculture ministry, okay. But if not passed, it is okay for that ministry. Now I hope all of you are getting it, that censure motion doesn't mean the fall of government. Even if it passed, agriculture minister may not resign, okay, because humiliation words for leaders are actually, I think it should not be used in Indian parliamentary system, because all of you know what I want to say, okay. I am not going deep inside that, but all of you know are picking up that things, okay, those things. So even this person may not possible that this person may not resign from office, okay. I hope all of you are getting it. But if there is a government and no confidence motion passed, then full government have to resign. The Union Government of India have to resign from the position of ruling government, okay. So I hope all of you are now getting it. So I am moving to the next one. Now let's see next one, next slide, okay. See, no day yet named motion, it is the least important motion, in India parliamentary function. How? No need to fix the date for discussion. See, even any MP about this no day yet named motion, and a speaker will accept it, if a speaker not accept it, it's here itself it is finished. But even if a speaker accept it, a speaker of Lok Sabha or a chairman of Rajya Sabha accept it, what happens that no need to fix the date for discussion. A speaker of Lok Sabha or chairman of Rajya Sabha will not fix the date, on which date or on this date, okay, on this date the discussions and debate will happen about this motion, that is no day yet named motion, okay. So no date will be fixed by presiding officer of the house for no day yet named motion. If there will be time lifting after the full proceedings of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, if there will be any time left, okay, only when it is possibility that there will be discussion and debates going on, okay, on no day yet named motion. If there will be no time left, it is possible that even this matter will not be discussed. That is why if not discussed, then how their voting will be happen, okay. So if there time left after the full procedures of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, it can take place, this motion, that is no day yet named motion, can take place. Otherwise it is possible that it is present in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, even a speaker accepts that, even after that it is possible that it is not discussed and debates, okay, if not time left. So I am moving to the next one. I hope it is the simple one, all of you are getting it. It is also not that important, but no one knows that UPSC will ask which time about that question, okay. So let's see, dilatory motion means, see here, whenever any MP will fill, it is not filled, it is fill, whenever any MP will feel at this ongoing debate discussions is not important and we are just wasting the time. See, what does it mean? See, actually, if any discussions debates going on any motion, okay, on any motion, if discussion or on anything, if discussion going on either in Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha too, okay, going on, and any MP feels that any MP feels that this discussion and debates is not important one and it is just wasting the time, or it is possible that if any discussion is going on and here it is the ruling government, okay, ruling government, fine, and any discussion is criticizing the ruling government, then automatically ruling government will want to divert from this discussion, okay, divert their attention, the attentions of who are discussing about that motions. If any motions is being discussed and any MP feels that this discussion is just wasting the time of parliament and it is not that kind of important one for public important meeting, okay, general public importance matter, fine. So in any of the case, just understand it, in any of the case, if any MP of any house feels that this discussion and debate is going on and just wasting the time and it is not an important one, like other matters are too important and those are not discussing in the parliament, apart from discussing those important matters, these are minor issues important is going to be discussed, or to divert the attention of parliament, to divert the attention from parliament from any discussions, any MP can vote dilatory motion. If dilatory motion accepted by the speaker of Lok Sabha or by the chairman of Rajya Sabha in case of Rajya Sabha, then this discussion will be stopped, okay, stopped, whatever the ongoing discussion at that time, that will be stopped if dilatory motion accepted, fine. And this works in this way, dilatory motion. I hope it is clear to all of you, so I am now going to the next one, okay. This is about point of order. See how point of order. Whenever any of the MP feels that house is not running according to the rules of procedure, then that MP can raise point of order. If any of the MP, I am repeating it again, whenever any member of parliament feels, here not written that whenever any member of parliament of Lok Sabha, not written, or even not written any member of parliament of Rajya Sabha, here clearly written that whenever any member of parliament feels, it means any member of parliament of even Lok Sabha too and for Rajya Sabha too. So this will used for both of the houses, that is point of order, okay. So whenever any member of parliament feels that house is not running smoothly or according to the rules of procedures, what is mentioned in the rules of procedure in the parliament, according to that the house is not running, then that MP can raise point of order, okay. If there is any proceedings taking place in even in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha in case of Rajya Sabha, okay, discussion, debates or anything going on, and any of them it feels that this is not okay, this is not under the rules and procedures, or feels that this is against the rules of parliament. If any MP feels that, normally it is the duty of a speaker, they automatically feels, but if any of the MP feels that this is happened, house is not performing according to rules, or it may possible, opposition party's leader, okay, opposition party's leader raising the voice on any issues, like recently, just understand it in this way, okay. I am giving you an example by which you will easily get it, by examples you will easily get it. Right now the highlighted issue is rising of petroleum prices, hike in rising of petroleum prices. So if any opposition leader or opposition leaders or group of opposition leaders in Lok Sabha or in Rajya Sabha, raising their voice loudly in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, and they go even the lobby of the which one? House. Lobby means wherever the speaker or chairman of Rajya Sabha sits, after that sits there is a round shape or any kind of shape, a place, a open place that will be, okay, no chair that will at that location will be available. After that lobby, all the members of parliament sit, okay, line by line. So in that lobby, if these MPs of opposition parties raising their voice, and by raising their voice they are going into lobbies of the house and just reading the slogans against the government of India, against the petroleum ministers, okay. So in that case, if any MP feels that this should not be happen and this is against the rules of procedure of parliament, then this MP can vote point of order, can stand and say to the speaker of Lok Sabha in case of Lok Sabha, and in case of Rajya Sabha it is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. So this member of parliament can demand from point of order to the presiding officer of the house, okay. So after that, if a speaker or chairman feels that yes, it should not be happen and it should be controlled right now, so now the action will taking place. I hope all of you are getting it easily. I have given this example, that's why you will not even forgetting these things in your whole life. So I am moving to the next one, but I hope so till now I am covering the whole things in a very detailed view with examples. Wherever it is possible I am giving the examples. Right now resolutions, it is also an important one. I have told you about motions, but what are the resolutions? Let's see. If any motions has been tabled, does it necessary to put up that motion? Okay, is it necessary that there will be vote 100% there will be vote on that motion? No. Even after accepting the motion by the presiding officer of the house, it is possible that there will be no vote just after discussing and debates, okay, the whole motions may not be put on voted. It is possible. It is not compulsory that voting will take place in facts related to motions. But apart from that, if resolutions will be brought up by any MP and accepted by the presiding officer of the house, then there will be 100% vote. There will be vote conducted on this resolution. There is 100% sure. Okay. What are some other things about resolutions? This is one difference between motion and resolution. If you are getting the differences between motion and resolution, you will easily get it. See, all motions are not resolutions. All motions are not resolutions, but resolutions are motions, but not all motions. I am telling you that all motions are not resolutions, but all resolutions are motions. All motions are not resolutions, but all resolutions are motions, but only one type of motion. All resolution will be of only one type of motion, that is substantive motion. Okay, resolution is itself is a motion, but which type of motion? It is a substantive motion, only substantive motion. Okay, but motion is not resolution. Okay, all motion is not resolution, but resolution is motion. All resolution are motion. Which one? Only one motion, that is substantive motion. All the resolutions comes under substantive motion. How they got it? It is a lot more discussing points. Okay, if you will get in it, it is not really important one for perspective of examinations. Okay, whenever it will or remaining time, anytime I will take any classes, okay, on remaining those 10-12 topics, but it is not 100% sure that it is not important one, that why, who control this and why not, why this. Okay, so just understand it. Okay, motions is itself is a larger one. Resolution is not that larger one. Okay, so motion is not resolution, but resolution is motion, and resolution comes under substantive motion. Just remember it. Resolution comes under substantive motion. What are some other things about resolutions? See, I am giving you detail about it. See, there are three types of resolutions. There are three types of resolution. Number 1, private. Number 2, government. Number 3, statutory. Okay, statutory. If you are not getting it, I am writing it here. Statutory. Okay, private, government, statutory. Okay, statutory resolutions. If any private member, which is private member, all the members who are not ministers, they are called private members. So all the members, private members, if even a private member is tabling any resolution in any of the house, that is termed as private resolution. If any minister is tabling any resolution in any house, it is termed as government resolution. But what is statutory resolution? Even any private member or any minister can also table statutory resolution. So what is statutory resolution? Okay, see, a statutory resolution will consist only those resolutions where anything is being written in that resolution, or anything will be discussing any matter related with any act or any constitutional related thing, constitutional related things. Okay, any act, like if you want to form NGT, that is National Green Tribunal. Okay, if you want to form National Green Tribunal, then by which act you will establish NGT? Okay, there will be some acts according to which you will establish NGT. Either there will be some constitutional act itself mentioned in the Constitution of India, or either you will made any special laws for NGT. According to that act, NGT will be established. So, like Wildlife Protection Act, there was itself from 1972. Wildlife Protection Act. Fine, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. I am erasing it. Okay, so that you will getting all the things. I am erasing it, but I am not moving to the next one. Okay, I am remaining on the same slide. Fine, just see it. I hope private resolutions, any private member, government resolution by any minister, statutory resolution by even private member can table that resolution, or if any minister can also table that resolution. So let's see. There is, which one I am talking about? Yeah, Wildlife Prevention Act 1972. This was act. Okay, it is an statutory act, statutory law. What is statutory law? You will easily get it after the full course will over. You will easily get it. Okay, these are the simple things. Any laws which are not itself mentioned in the Constitution of India, if that is mentioned in the Constitution of India, then it will known as constitutional act itself. But it is not mentioned in the Constitution of India, but it itself being prepared by taking any source of Constitution of India. Okay, by taking any source of Constitution of India, if any new act has been formed, then or law formed, then that law is a statutory law. Okay, I hope all of you are getting it. So Wildlife Prevention Act 1972 become an act. After that, which one? National Conservation Tiger Authority. Okay, I hope this name, National Conservation Tiger Authority. Okay, this is being established according to this act. This is later established in later half, but established by this act, established by Wildlife Prevention Act. So if there will be any matter, there will be any resolution related to any act or any constitutional acts, any statutory acts, then those resolution will tabled under a statutory resolution. Those can't be tabled under private resolution or government resolutions. Okay, fine. Related to any acts, either it may be a statutory act that is not mentioned in the Constitution directly, or either it may be anyone. That, like, see, if that right to education is itself not a constitutional right earlier, not a constitutional right earlier. Okay, because it is not written in the constitution. But what? Since it is mentioned in the DPSP, I have taken the classes of DPSP, you can see that lecture. In DPSP, it was mentioned that all the children should get the quality education. Okay, so it is mentioned. So government picks up that part from the Constitution of India and made an act, that is Right to Education Act. Right to Education Act. So government is picking that source, and by that source from Constitution of India, government is made this act, Right to Education Act. Fine. I hope in the same way, earlier there was no Wildlife Prevention Act in the Constitution of India, but there is mention in the Constitution of India about the prevention of wildlife. So picking up from that point of Constitution of India, Government of India firstly made Wildlife Protection Act 1972. That act will be a statutory act. A statutory act means originally not present in the Constitution of India, but derives its power from the Parliament of India, because Parliament have prepared this act. If Constitution itself, like fundamental rights, are not statutory rights or acts, because fundamental rights are itself clearly mentioned in the Constitution of India. Okay, but you can see that Wildlife Protection Act or Right to Education is properly or originally not mentioned in the Constitution of India. That is why these are statutory. Okay, they somehow related with Constitution of India of any facts, okay, on any lines, but prepared by, made laws by Parliament of India. Okay, so if there will be any matter related to those acts or any laws that will be formulated on the basis of those laws, okay, statutory laws or even for constitutional laws too, if anyhow related with those laws or acts, then they will be tabled under which resolution? A statutory resolution. I hope about resolution I have covered all the things. Okay, so I am moving to the next one. Next is Youth Parliament. Youth Parliament. What is Youth Parliament? Okay, actually the first session of Youth Parliament has taken place, the official, okay, the National Youth Parliament, the first session was held in 2019. Okay, 19. In 2019, the first National Youth Parliament session taken place. Okay, now let's see what happens. In Youth Parliament, actually youths of like classes of 11, 12, okay, graduate students, postgraduate students, they will take place in Youth Parliament. Fine. They will discuss, debates. Someone will play the role of finance ministry, someone will play the role of opposition party, someone will play the role of leader of house, someone will play the role of the even defense ministry, someone will play the role of the speaker of the Lok Sabha, someone will play the role of the chairman of the Rajya Sabha, someone will play of the role of leader of opposition. Okay, so youth taking participate in that house, that parliament, and all of them are do that because they will learn how this country functions. Okay, how our leaders prepared any bills, acts, how acts has been mentioned or how acts, bills become passed. Okay, so youths actually behaving like the normal MPs. Okay, and they will take parts, proceeds in Youth Parliament. Okay, in Youth Parliament, a separate palace. Okay, separate palace, not the place of Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. So Youth Parliament, even Prime Minister has addressed this Youth Parliament in 2019. Okay, in 2019, our present Prime Minister too, okay, has addressed this Youth Parliament. Okay, in Youth Parliament, like me and you and all of the younger ones can take participate by some proceeding follow, can take participate in Youth Parliament. Okay, and they will play any specific role, like any youth will become finance minister, defense minister, okay, foreign minister, a speaker of Lok Sabha, chairman of Rajya Sabha, leader of the house, leader of opposition, any will play any role. Okay, whatever they will be assigned. So this is done because this is necessary for our youth. Youth Parliament has been made because it is necessary for our country, and it is too necessary for our youth to understand the real things about how India can be developed, okay, with proper parliamentary functions, okay. That is why youth parliament is being made, okay, to prepare our younger generation for the future politics. It means to prepare our younger generation for the future politics, for understanding of the future politics, okay, to be disciplined, because when they will sit in the youth parliament, our younger generation, okay, few of the among the larger younger generations, only few of them will able to sit there. So if they will sit there, they will be disciplined, because there is code of conduct of the house, code of conduct in the youth of parliament too. So all things are accordingly in the same like parliament, okay. Just it is just named as youth parliament, and it cannot make any laws, regulations, acts, okay. Just it's a dummy one, okay. You can see a dummy mobile, okay, let's एक dummy one, okay, fine. All of you are getting it. It's like a clone of parliament, okay. So I hope till now I have covered all the aspects. So if anyone remaining, I will cover also. Just see that if any other slides remaining. No students, it's over. Today's session is over. Now all the motions except motions I have also covered. Youth parliament, okay. I have also covered youth parliament and resolutions. What are the differences between motions and resolutions? I hope all of you are getting it. Motions are itself in a bigger one. Resolutions are also important. All the resolutions comes under substantive motion. Remember this fact. All the resolutions comes under substantive motion. Fine. It is not necessary that on each and every motion there will be voting conducted. But if resolution is accepted by the house, then it is 100% sure that there will be voting on that resolution. Okay, there are three type of resolution: private resolution, government resolution, as well as statutory resolution. Okay, I hope all of you are getting the whole things what I have taught you right now. We will meet tomorrow again with the same topic, that is Parliament of India. It's a vast one, okay. It's a vast one, okay. Don't in hurry. I will cover the whole things in till which month? I hope so. It will take about 15th of September maximum time period. Till that time period, I will cover the whole things with detailed view, with current affairs, with political science, international relation optional, with men's answer writing practice. In very few days, I am going to start current affairs from May month of 2020. From month of May 2020, I am going to start current affairs, okay, and I will finish 15-month current affairs in just 2 months with the whole aspects, okay. So stay with us. We are with you, okay. We are with you, fine. So understand it properly. So okay, fine students, all things are covered today. So we will meet tomorrow again. Thank you so much.